Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Emily Empar and here we talk about all things self-development. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my signature purple glam makeup and talking about how to build signature style to boost your divine femininity. So let's get started. Right now, all I have on my face is just some vitamin C and some moisturizer, and we're gonna get right into this. So the reason why I wanted to come on here and talk about signature style is because nowadays I see everybody doing the same thing and it's very boring for everybody to look the same and to be doing the same kind of makeup, wearing the same kind of clothes. We can kind of blame that on fast fashion especially, but in terms of makeup, there's this trend of clean makeup in the last couple of years, and I gotta be honest, as much as there are so many women who look really beautiful with clean makeup, and I like to do clean makeup sometimes as well, it's nice to do something that's signature to your specific look. So we're going to be talking about that. So first and foremost, purple eyeshadow looks really good with brown eyes, and that is something that I learned from a really young age, in addition to just also purple being my favorite color and purple being like my whole brand of everything. So I'm starting off with some concealer. This concealer has a pinkish kind of undertone. I'm going to be listing all the products below rather than naming them all right here, but this is the Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser. And then I'm using a concealer brush to blend this out. What I really like about this is that it doesn't crease. I had somebody ask me months ago, how do you manage to wear a concealer that doesn't crease all day? Well, good eye cream underneath. Sometimes I also use Vaseline under my eyes, like when I sleep. I still wash my face when I wake up though, not with cleanser. Not with cleanser. Cleanse only once at night. You can even double cleanse at night, but you don't need to do it in the morning. And this is the best concealer that I've been using for so many years. I've also had many professional makeup artists use it on me and have it in their kit. So we're starting off with this, and one thing about me, when we're talking about signature makeup and recognizing what works for you and what doesn't, is that I don't wear foundation. I do wear a lot of powder, but I do not wear foundation. I just don't really like it. And I've actually done plenty of photo shoots because I started modeling when I was 16. I've done plenty of photo shoots and even been on sets for film and television where I haven't worn foundation. So if you're really taking care of your skin and you're using a good concealer and powder, you don't necessarily need to go all in with the foundation. And that's what I mean by like kind of de-influencing yourself and really looking at what your particular skin and style and everything needs. Okay, so the next thing is that I'm using my Perfect Finish HD powder from e.l.f. And I actually recently bought these cute little finger puffs, powder puffs. You put on your finger like this and get it in here. I use my products. That is one thing also. Please use your products until you hit pan. And just because you hit pan on here doesn't mean that there isn't all this other stuff to use, all this other product to use. And I know, yes, makeup does expire, so try not to keep things past their expiration unless you really like the packaging and you want to use it as decor. But use your stuff. So now I'm going into my T-zone. And this is really important, especially if you are on camera with like a lot of lights. And then I'm using a little powder brush to kind of, look at how I'm holding this, to kind of diffuse some of that. Now, if I am going to be wearing heavier makeup for photos with lights, then I might put some concealer down my nose too, but I'm not doing that today. And then we go a little bit on the chin and around the mouth area too. But this is, again, you just have to really pay attention to the things that work for you and play around with them. I definitely believe in color theory, so some of the other eyeshadows that look really, really good on brown eyes is grays and greens. Look really good on brown eyes. Okay, so now I'm basically prepped. I'm gonna diffuse some of that. Now I'm basically prepped base for skin. Very, very simple. And if you want to check out my skincare videos, you can. They will be linked up here on the top right, I believe. And I'm going to use my beautiful Flower Nose palette. It is so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What is this called again? Strawberry Rococo or something? StarMoon Strawberry. And look at how stunning these colors are. And I thought that they wouldn't be that great quality, to be honest, because the packaging is so gorgeous, but just you wait and see. Whoops. Just you wait and see. They're actually very pigmented. But before we get into that, I'm just going to do my eyebrows really quickly. So right now I still have some leftover clear brow gel, Sephora brand clear brow gel on my brows, but I am going to fill them in just slightly with my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder in medium brown. So let's talk about how to find the best brow color, because a lot of people struggle with this. So we don't want the brows to be too dark. I find that that's the most common mistake a lot of women make, is picking a really, really dark shade for their eyebrows. And the truth is, it actually ends up looking very harsh. Now, if you are using really black eyeliner or really black lashes, then a darker eyebrow does definitely kind of make everything look more cohesive. But if you do have lighter eyebrows like I do, even though I'm a brunette, I do have lighter eyebrows, it's nice to just keep them within their natural range. You don't want to go too dark. And by too dark, the best way to kind of measure that is to take a look at what your face looks like blank, like I am right now. Like we don't have anything else going on. Does this look too harsh? Is this darker than my hair color? That part. We don't want to be more than 2 shades darker than our hair color, whatever the hair color is. Okay, and then I'm gonna lock that in with my NYX Brow Glue. And honestly, this NYX Brow Glue is so good that I have thought about doing a brow tint and lamination before, and I ended up not doing it because apparently this is enough on a day where I just want to use this to keep everything done. So there we go. Now let's move into the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna start off with a flat shader brush. Would you believe me if I told you that this is from Claire's? I've had this brush probably my whole life. And I'm gonna use this beautiful purple, very, very shimmery purple. I'm gonna get close here. Well, a lot of fallout, so we do wanna be careful of that. Typically you do wanna tap it, but I'm gonna get rid of that in a second. Packing this onto the eye. Okay, next step, I'm going to be using this middle shade, this like light lilac color, with a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna go into the crease area and I'm gonna drag it upwards. So my eyes are almond and I really love a little bit of a cat eye look. So we always wanna bring everything upwards. And I'm bringing this right to where the brow bone is, and then we're gonna put a highlight on the brow bone. We'll put the brow bone highlight last. Now I'm going to use the darker purple color. This is still purple, it's not blue. I know a lot of people confuse blues and purples, but as a purple girl, it's purple. So this is for my crease. So this is for the outer third of the eye, and this is what really makes that cat eye kind of look. Going into the outer third of the eye, blending it towards the center. Same thing, using some excess on here, on the other eye. And then I'm just blending it into the crease a little bit. Now here's the thing about signature makeup. Some people, some eye shapes look better with dramatic makeup than others. That's just the facts. So this is why it's so important to really pay attention to A, what you like, and B, what is flattering. Okay, here's the fun part. We're going to take this round brush that I got here, and I'm gonna go back in to that first color. We're not using the pink tones today, but we definitely could. I'm gonna go back into this first color, and I'm going into the first half of the eye. Try not to get it into my contacts. I love when I've done photo shoots and whoever's editing the pictures goes, "Oh, we didn't realize that you were wearing contacts until we were editing the pic and we zoomed in on your eyes." All right, now we're gonna go into the dark purple for the other half of the eye. So smaller eyes like mine, I do have smaller eyes, tend to look good with a little bit of color on the underline, lower lash line, not underline, I don't know what I'm saying, on that lower lash line. Some color, a little pop of color also really makes the brown in my eyes stand out. Okay, I think we're ready for a little brow highlight. So we're gonna close the beautiful palette. Should we look at it one more time? Look how gorgeous. It wasn't expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but I will list it all below. And then I'm gonna use my Essence Stay and Play eyeliner. I think it's just the color white, but maybe there's a name for it. And I'm going on to the brow bone underneath the brow. This little line is because I have to sharpen it, FYI. We're gonna blend it out anyway. Go in here, and then I'm gonna take this type of brush and blend it into the rest of the eye makeup. Okay, so before I started this video, I had already curled my eyelashes before I put anything on my face, but I'm gonna curl them one more time because my lashes are very straight and very long. This is the other thing. Don't get influenced to buy an eyelash curler if your lashes are already curly. Okay? You don't need to spend unnecessarily on things that we don't individually actually need. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my eyeliner. I love a signature cat eye winged eyeliner. Again, please think about the shape that flatters your eye the most. Not everybody suits a winged eyeliner. Some people look better with it just coming to the ends. But because we brought everything up already with the eyeshadow, the eyeliner is just going to seal it all in and really give it a nice frame. So I'm gonna start it and then I'm gonna come back when it's done so that my arm is steady and I can focus on doing a good job. Okay, so we're done the eyeliner, and before I move on to mascara, I'm actually just gonna clean up some of the fallout from the eyeshadow earlier. So I'm going to be taking a translucent powder and I'm going to be taking this concealer brush again. It's actually not a concealer brush. I know I was calling it that. It's actually a foundation brush. So I'm just taking a very light amount of it, tap off the excess, and then go in and dust some of that away. One thing about me, signature-wise, I love a little glitter everywhere. I can't help it. I'm just a magical girl with my glitter makeup and my glitter on my fingertips too. These have to be done, but okay. First, I'm going to tight line with this black pencil. And now I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. What I love about this mascara is that it is super, super buildable. It lengthens and lifts, and it holds so well. I don't recommend that you sleep in your eye makeup, but if you wash off all your face makeup and you leave some mascara on and you're not sleeping face down, this mascara is hypoallergenic and ophthalmologist tested. So I actually didn't get irritated from testing that theory, which is really important for sensitive eyes, especially eyes that do wear contacts, because they dry out much more easily. And then I'm going to use a Q-tip to get rid of any little dots. But as you can see, I can really, really build this up to the point where I don't even necessarily need false lashes. But I'm probably going to add that anyway. Just for funsies. So to finish off the eyes, I'm going to also add some mascara to the bottom lashes. And I go side to side and then from the tip of the wand. And this gives you that really big doll-like. Okay, and I'm gonna add some Kiss Magnetic lashes just to the very ends. These are individuals. I do have a little thing to hold it with, but I'm not using that. And I just have my mirror right here. And you just go underneath on the lash line. Hold it there in place. And it just gives a little bit more of that flare to the corner. And I actually think I may double up. And I'm just gonna go back in and tight line. So it's really, really cohesive underneath with where the band is for the individual. And this is also great because there's no glue involved. So again, if you have sensitive eyes, this is a great option. Okay, so the eyes are done and now I'm going to work on the rest of the skin. So I'm using a fluffy brush like this and I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm actually using this shade from my eyebrow palette because I like to do a very, very light contour of the nose, and it happens to be a good color. So the key to a really flattering contour for the nose is to not go too far outside of your natural nose. Because if you are constantly contouring your nose to like an inch of its life, whenever you don't wear makeup or you don't do it, it's going to be very, very noticeable. So just try to keep it within the natural lines. You can see that that was really, really light. And then to set that, I go back in with some powder. Okay, so next up I'm going to be using my Swan Ballet collection from Flower Nose as well. And just look at how stunning, 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 gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Can you see the color? There we go. This frosted pink is. It's in the shade Silky Ribbon, and I feel like that's pretty accurate. So with this, it's quite pigmented, but you do have to keep building it. And when I apply blush, I apply right to the apples of my cheeks right here, but I try to stay away from where my nose is and really focus on drawing it upwards and into the temples. Also, a little note that if you get a lot of texture or acne around the temples, because you do your makeup this way, you do your cheeks this way, please make sure you're washing your face properly, because that is likely why. You're probably putting too much product and oils there and it's building up into acne and texture that is unwanted. There's one side. And there is the other. And because I have more of a fair skin tone, really frosted light pinks like that tend to look really natural on me. So blush is one of those things that I think makes the look, and it's another thing that a lot of people go really overboard on. It's better to start light, like with this blush, and build it gradually. We want to make sure that it still looks like a natural flush, not like you've spent all day in the heat, got sunburned, and maybe did something naughty. You know what I mean? So blush is one of those things that instantly boosts your divine feminine energy. If you do anything makeup wise, blush should be it. Okay, let's finally do some lips. So I've got this beautiful NYX Suede pencil in the color Tea and Cookies. Here it is. There we go. Bring my mirror. I already have my Burt's Bees lip balm on. And if you really want a lip color to last, go all the way in with your lip pencil. Especially a matte lip pencil, it will help the rest of the lip color stay all day long. Okay, now I recently discovered this lipstick in the bottom of a purse. This is this gorgeous MAC lip color in the shade Can You Tell? And I just need to draw attention to the engraving. It just makes me so happy. It smells like vanilla. Now, when we do a dramatic eye, it's always better to do a lighter lip color. I don't love a total nude. I like to have some pop still, so whether it's brown or a little pink like this is. And then we're going to top that off lastly with the super nostalgic Lancome Juicy Tube in the color Magic Spell, naturally. And it's got a little bit of a glitter to it, and it still tastes and smells like the OG, like the originals. I will say it's not quite as sticky as I remembered it though, which is a good thing. I don't want it to be too sticky. Okay, and now I'm gonna just top it off with some powder to set, and then use my makeup setting spray. And then we're good to go. But I just wanna say, like in terms of really creating your signature makeup, you should always pick colors that really make you happy, that flatter your face, that flatter your eye color, that flatter your hair color and brow color as well, and skin tone, but that really, really make you happy. Even if it's just a regular day, that's what really makes a signature look, is deciding that I don't have to necessarily be going somewhere special for me to do my makeup like this. We lock it in. Feeling beautiful, feeling glamorous, feeling confident, as above, so below, and so it is. Let's get a little close up. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this video and some of my tricks and tips. I'm going to be leaving the products below, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please make sure to give it a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Stay golden.